Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with a challenge, and who knows how long this is going to stay working because we're in free roam for a tournament. Things may get a little bit broken. We're trying to work with as best we can here. The challenge is the hypercar, race car rallying. Essentially, everything here is fitted with slick tyres. It's rear-wheel drive. Ignore the Rimac. A randomer turned up and decided to join our line of cars. And so the Rimac's not involved in this. But we have things like a McLaren Senna, a Porsche race car. We've got the two eggs in here. We've got a Wara. I'm driving the Apollo. And these, incredibly fast vehicles are going to be taken on a rally stage. And we are going to see how they fare. It's a 1v1 knockout tournament. There'll be the big old spanner final at some point, because it's funny making a lot of cars go racing. It is a little bit of a faff because I can't do, sadly while I'm in drone mode, I can't do chat commands. So we are going to have a chat command go up for, I think Gliss is doing the chat commands for this, so we can hopefully get maybe some sort of starting working. Because of course Forza has to be a little bit more complicated on this one. We are off and underway. It's Longbow versus Speed Beast for this first race. It's a good jump for the Porsche. The Porsche is going to lead the way up towards turn kind of one here. It's a long corner for the cars. Now, this rally stage takes place around the volcano. It is fast in places. It's bumpy. There are rocks around the outside. You do not want to hit the rocks. They will cause you all sorts of problems. Speed Beast carrying a lot of speed is on the outside, though. Some big jumps down here if you go wide. They both get away with it nicely. Longbow just lost a little bit of that lead margin here. The Porsche is putting the power down nicely through this next section. Speed Beast struggling a little bit through here. Stop for the hairpin. Porsche struggles to get turned in through all of this. Porsche will run. Although it looked like it struggled to get turned in, but it actually pulled a little bit more of a gap. Speed with a big amount of understeer from that McLaren. Now, of course, the Porsche is the oldest car here by a fair way, and while the vehicles are stock, with the one exception being they all have to run the slick tyres, the Porsche is on much older suspension, which actually is quite good for this. It's more compliant over the bumps. Speed Beast has sent the McLaren too much speed into the hairpin. I was trying to make up some time. It's only a couple of corners to go. I respect the effort. Something had to be done to try and make up some time, and Speed Beast was super late on the brakes down there, but it was a little bit too late for the Senna. The Porsche is around the final corner. There's the run to the line. The Porsche takes victory. The Senna's actually had a spin. Well, I mean, the McLaren tried everything. It is backwards across the line. The Senna does not progress. It will go into the spanner final. However, it was a good race. It was a good race. The hairpin is tough, and it's already claimed its first victim near me. But Longbow is through with the classic Porsche. We are on to the second round here. One of the eggs is gone. That's not how it's supposed to work. God damn it. It's a fault. Well, I don't know what the false start prepared for. Anyway, yes, we've got the two eggs. We have Liam driving the Koenigsegg CCGT. Rusky is driving the Regera, which is a very, very brave choice. I mean, I wish all the best with the Regera. I guess if it can work, it might be fast, but that is going to be tough to drive around this course. The CCGT I would expect to be a little bit more manageable. I mean, it's got half the horsepower pretty much in that. Yes, neither of them are going to have the best tyres for this stuff, but we shall see. They're off. They're underway. It's a good start from the Regera, actually. It has got the power down. It's now slithering its way towards this first long corner. The Regera leads the way into turn one. It's very sideways. It's out wide. You do not want to have an argument with the rocks. It is easy to accidentally end up in these rocks. Regera still struggling out wide a little bit as they head up over the hill. There are rocks on the outside of this one. Liam's got the pass all the way around the outside. Good pass from the CCGT as they jump their way. Regera's looking all over the back of the car through there. No real way to get past. Now they're coming up towards the hairpin. We know this hairpin is tough. It is difficult to get the cars stopped for here. It's very difficult to even see this. The Regera's really struggled through there. It has now got turned in. The CCGT is through as we head down this next section. I mean, this section here is also not that straightforward. I mean, in a rally car... Oh, Regera's fallen back a little bit further than I expected. In a rally car, it's not too bad up here, but these things do not have the grip. They don't like the bumps. We've got the big stop now. We're expecting the lead car to probably be a little bit safe down here. There's no reason to take a crazy risk under brakes. You can make up a lot of time in this hairpin. The Regera's tried. Oh, it's on the edge, and the Regera's gone. I think we might see a fair bit of that. If you've got a little bit of a margin, you're just not going to do anything stupid down there. But if you're further back, you might just go for it in a hope of making up some time. And the CCGT is across the line. Good run. I've got to say, the Regera held on at the start better than I thought. And it's across the line now for Rescue. The Regera's off. Yeah, Regera held on for a little while. It just couldn't live with the grip of the race car and then pushed it a little too hard down at the hairpin. So, we have the CCGT is the best of the eggs, and that is through, guaranteed, to the next round. So, I am in the next heat. I've got my favourite of the hypercars, the Apollo. I love this car. It is wonderful. It's actually the battle of the purple, really. We've got the Apollo versus the Wara. We are going to see what we can do in this one. The Apollo is savagely fast on tarmac, as we have seen in the past. How it's going to do on dirt, I do not know. Here we go. We got the ready command, and we are off and underway. The Wara gets a slight better launch in all of this. That it surprises me maybe a little bit. It's a good start from the Pagani. It means we're going to have to find a way past legit. Oh, Pagani gets a big slide. I'm in trouble. Oh, I'm trying to get my nose underneath, and we got understeer mid-corner. Okay, we're going to have to fight back now. We have to find a way to fight back in all of this. Stevie's run a little bit deep. Now, I've got to push, but I've got to not overdrive the car, because that would be an easy way to get in a lot of trouble. Like here with that rock, Stevie almost found it as well. And we have closed back in on the Pagani. Can we find a way past? Up to the hairpin we go. Oh, I was looking for a way around the outside, and Stevie struggled to slow it down. We have not got past there, and this is a problem now for me. We may have to go a little bit banzai at the hairpin here. The Apollo has definitely got speed in this. But I've struggled to really make the most of it. Stevie's gone very wide. Oh, the Pagani's got in trouble. I've got a little bit of trouble trying to get the power down. Stevie's got stuck. I think Stevie might have beached it on the rock. Okay, don't do anything stupid at the hairpin. No need. No need to do anything dumb down there. Oh, that's unlucky. Oh. Just finish this one. See this one out. Don't do anything dumb around these next couple of corners. No need to risk spinning the car. No need to risk putting it in trouble. Ooh, we got away with it. It was a slightly iffy start. We got in a little bit of trouble. We sort of closed back in. We got in an awkward position. The Apollo is through, though. Oh, we've got speed in this car, but it's not always easy to access it. Okay. We are through. Stevie a little bit unlucky, just ran a little too wide trying to carry speed through a difficult corner. The Wara, though, will go into the Spanner final. Maybe it'll stand a chance going through that one. We are on to the next round. We have a battle of the Italian race cars going on. Maserati MC12 Corsa, driven by Gliska. The Ferrari F50 GT, driven by Chris. Both of these are actually expected to be very quick. So this is probably the toughest sort of first round, if you like. Yeah, these are both likely to be pretty quick cars. The Maserati is probably the longest car here. You maybe get a little bit of stability from that one. The Ferrari seem fast in practice. We will see how they go. Of course, anything can happen on this course. It's easy to run wide. It's easy to get in trouble. They are both off and underway. Very, very even start between the pair of them. The Ferrari just edging it as they head down towards the first corner, though. Runs a little bit wide. Maserati gets the nose underneath. They're going to go side by side, although sometimes that outside line can be a little bit helpful. You can find some traction out there. There's some rocks on the inside you don't really want to end up in. They're still side by side as they head up over the crest. Around the Porsche they go. Maserati's going to go around the outside. It's very bumpy out there. Maserati ends up in the wing of the Ferrari. Still swapping paint. They get away from the outside. Ferrari bounces wide. Oh, Ferrari's off the rock. The Ferrari was in a lot of trouble out wide on its own through that one as we head towards the hairpin now. Maserati does get stopped and does get turned through there, struggling to put the power down as we head out the other side. I mean, there are some very nasty rocks around the outside of the circuit. You just can't afford to run wide through some of these places. Maserati actually hit some rocks on the outside through all of there. It's sliding all the way up the hill. Here comes a Ferrari. That thing is flying around this course. That is really caught as they head towards the hairpin now. How brave is the Ferrari going to be under brakes? It is carrying a lot of speed through here. The Ferrari is absolutely flying. It's right onto the back of the Maserati. Is it going to be able to find a way past in this final corner? It's having a look. Maserati goes very tight on the inside. You're going to struggle to get much speed on the exit. The F50s, they're looking. It's a drag race to the line. Maserati gets it, but only just. Bloody hell. That Ferrari is ferocious. That Ferrari is terrifyingly quick. That came from a fair way back, stuck on a rock to chase down the Maserati. It almost got it. It just missed out on the run to the line, but only by a few, well, maybe a metre, if that. Well, the Maserati is through. The Ferrari's into the Spanner final, and that F50 is going to be a scary prospect, that's for sure. We are on to the final of the heat. Unfortunately, we have a slight odd number today, so Ewan has been the lucky one that's drawn a sort of bye into the next round. For this, though, we have got the Radical, driven by Dangerman, the RXC against a Ferrari FXX, driven by Blakey. I'm not sure what we're going to see. These are a little bit... the Radical is a little bit of an oddball here. It's a lot further down on power than just about everything else around here, but it's very light. I mean, it's full-on track car focus we have going on here. So it could be strong. It might be too light and have issues with bumps. The Ferrari is a little bit more conventional in this field. I mean, as far as taking track cars and hypercars off-roading, the Ferrari's conventional. Who knows how it's going to work. The Ferrari is off to the lead of the race, though, as we head over a nasty crest for the first time. Dangerman slides the Radical through there and across the bumps. Nothing too crazy for this selection of vehicles. A little bit of airtime, not too big of airtime now, up towards the forward hairpin we have going on here. Ferrari gets stopped nicely, turned in. Dangerman runs wide. You can sometimes get a little bit of better drive on that wider line. You can set it up nicer for this next section. You can see the Ferrari struggling with a lot of oversteer through there. However, they've both made it through without too many problems. Dangerman's all out of sorts. He's going to end up almost in the corner marking down there. How brave is Blakey going to be under brakes? This is the big question down at the hairpin. You're going to be sensible if you're the leader of the race. The car in second is always going to just chuck it in and hope. Dangerman makes up some ground but is struggling with the climb up the hill here. The Ferrari is just extending that gap a little bit here. It runs a smidge wide on this final corner, but it's not enough to give it any trouble. The Radical's there, but he's not going to be able to do anything. The Ferrari crosses the line. Blakey is through to the next round. The Radical put up a good fight. It stayed there. Yeah, it couldn't quite. It couldn't really do anything. It just slowly lost ground throughout the course. Not by a huge amount, but the Radical will go into the Spanner final. Ferrari is through to the next round proper. We are on to the next round. We have the first appearance of Ewan with the Mosler. Like I say, likely to be strong. I think the Mosler won this the last time we did it. So that is always potentially fast. It's just generally a very, very strong car. We're up against the Porsche that is definitely has its strength. As I said, it's a little bit of the wild car here. It's a little bit of the odd one out, if you like. Who knows how these... really don't know how these two are going to match up as they get ready. And they launch. It's a good launch from the Porsche. Very, very strong launch from that Porsche as we head down towards the first corner here. But will the Mosler have the grip? The Mosler's, of course, a lot more modern. Oh, the Mosler's not going to have the grip to do that. The Mosler's up and over the rocks. And the Mosler's visiting the scenery, and that is the Mosler out of the race, pretty much. The Porsche is over here somewhere in the distance. Lost sight of it. There it is. There goes the Porsche running its way through the course. Off it heads down now towards the hairpin. I mean, it's pretty much... I say one in this one, unless it goes and falls off the mountain. There is nothing that it really has to worry about here. I mean, that is the difficulty with this course, is if it goes wrong, if you get it, there is the Mosler. If you get it a little bit wrong, then you can end up in just a world of trouble. And it doesn't take much to get it that slight bit wrong. The rocks are mean, the rocks are nasty, and if you catch the car on them, it can just spit you up the mountain, can just put you in trouble, and there is just not a huge amount that you can do about it. Oh! I applaud the effort. Well, I say the effort, the cheating. The cheating that has gone on. The finish line has decided that the Mosler shall not pass. It's not really worked for the Mosler on this one whatsoever, has it? Well, I mean, Longbow's through. The Longbow's through. That's not really gone to plan, has it? We are on to our next round. It's the Italian race car showdown. The Maserati's only raced Italian cars. We have the MC12. It is up, driven by Gliska, is up against Blakey's FXX. Should be a good race between these two. They're both seeming pretty strong cars. And we are off. We are underway. It's a very even jump between them. The Maserati almost got the better. They're just going to go side by side into turn one. Who is going to be able to carry the speed on the exit of this corner? Blakey gets the pass. Just is very, very wide. It's absolutely on the limit through there. Gliska gets a much better run up the hill though. Gliska's to the inside of the next corner. They go side by side through this next tricky section. It's bumpy on the outside. Blakey's up on this side. They're both going to spin. They're both back pointing the right direction again, and Gliska comes out of it in the lead, facing the right way. We're up over the crest, down towards the hairpin we head. Maserati on a very tight line. It gives a little bop to the stock car on the way past, but no room for the FXX to find a way past. They're going to go nose to tail past the house. Understeer central from the MC12. Blakey's looking but can't quite get the car to the inside there. They're past the Regera track marker. Now we blast down the hill. How brave will the Ferrari be under brakes? Is it going to try? No, it doesn't do anything crazy down here. Gliska very tight on the way into that corner. Struggles a little bit on the exit, but the Ferrari's not really able to make the most of this. The FXX is looking every which way for a way past, but can't do it. It almost gets to the inside around the final corner. It's going to be close. Maserati slides. It's the drag race to the line. The Maserati does it just again. The Maserati beats the Ferrari by half a car length, if that. The FXX got seriously close. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, it's down there. Yeah. The FXX got close. The Maserati once again holds off a Ferrari in the closing stages. Maserati is definitely through to the next round. So we head into the third and final round of this part of the tournament, and I'm trying to be the only road car into the or the only guaranteed road car into the semi-final. I'm going up against Liam's Koenigsegg. I really don't know what we're going to see from this one. I had a really scruffy run in my first attempt, so I don't really have much to compare with. That's a really quick go command. The Koenigsegg struggles off the line. The Apollo has got a much better launch this time around. We're on the wide line. I don't mind that too much into turn one. You can sometimes be a little bit smoother on the outside there. And we have carried some good speed in the Apollo. We lead the way. The CCGT did not get off the line. It was really struggling through that first section. I do not want to be out this wide because then I have a really big jump here that I do not want. I think Liam may have followed me a little bit down there in terms of running wide. Oh, I can't look back. I've got too much concentration going on elsewhere. I was looking at the track map slightly to have a rough idea. The Apollo will get slowed down for the hairpin. The Koenigsegg slides a lot behind me. That is good news for me here in terms of just building this gap. We know the CCGT is going to throw it probably at the hairpin. It's closed in a little bit. We don't want to run too wide through there. The Koenigsegg is a lot more sideways than I am. I don't think I've seen that car pointing in the straight direction. Oh, we've had to have a second bite at the brakes there. Really struggled to slow it down for the hairpin. We were nearly in trouble. Where is that Koenigsegg? It's closer than it was, but it's not quite looking for a way past. Get the nose turned in for this final corner. We have to be a little bit patient before we can get on the throttle. Now we can. We're going to do it just. Oh, I almost beans it. Well, I did sort of beans it at the hairpin. I nearly threw it away. Oh, but I didn't in the end. Christ, we can breathe now. That was scary work through there. Yeah, we got a good start. We could pull just a little bit of a gap. It wasn't a massive gap, but we got it through. We have the Apollo into the semi-finals. It's guaranteed to at least be one road car into the semi-finals. That is something, at least. We have got the Spanner final up next, and the prize for winning this is you get into the semi-finals. It is... God, it's going to be a mess. If we manage to get through without a major crash, I will be astounded. Someone's falling off the hairpin. The Ferraris, both the FXX and the F50, are definitely going to be ones to watch. The Koenigsegg is quick, we know that. The Mosler made one corner. If it gets it right, who knows how fast that might be. We are off. We are underway. It's a good start from the FXX. The Senna's over a rock, but has actually got away with it surprisingly well, considering he's up on 2 wheels. The Mosler will launch to the lead of the race. The 2 Eggs have fallen to the back. The Radical struggling for grip through all of this. Ewan's out wide and almost got in trouble again on those rocks with that Mosler. But the Mosler leads the way ahead of the 2 Ferraris as we head up through this first corner. The F50 tries to get the pass done on the FXX. It looks like it has maybe got that. The FXX goes over the roof of the F50. The FXX is back into second. Bloody hell. That is one way to quite literally overtake. Ewan is still under threat but leads the way with the Mosler. The Koenigsegg's caught up. The CCGT is trying to go around the outside, runs out of space. The Wire is battling with the Regera further back. I think there's been a crash with the Radical and the Senna, but we were too busy watching the Ferraris jump over one another as we head up the hill this time around. We haven't got enough cars to be quarter markers because of the numbers in the Spanner final, but the Mosler will lead the way down towards the hairpin. The F50 is early on the brakes. The FXX is busy looking. The Koenigsegg has caught up from the mess that was the start, but hasn't quite got anywhere to go. Mosler leads the climb up the hill. Can the F50 find a way past with just 1 quarter to go here? Mosler's on a bit of a wonky line through here. The Ferrari, the F50 followed it, but it's going to be... Oh, Mosler's very wide. Mosler's gone too wide. Ferrari takes it on the line. Mosler gets second. FXX third. The Koenigsegg will end up in fourth. Wara beats out the Regera in all of this. Not sure where the others... Oh, there is a Senna. Not sure what happened to the Radical. The F50 this time got the run to the line. The Senna will bounce wide and will come across the finish line. Oop. And is across. And there is a Radical. Didn't see what happened, sadly, with those. The Ferraris were busy... Yes, the Ferraris were busy jumping over one another. Well, there we go. The F50 is in to the semi-finals, and that does also mean that my Apollo is the only road car still in the tournament. So we are on to the semi-finals. The Apollo is up against the Porsche. Turns out the Apollo is not road legal in England, at least for pedestrian safety or something, so the Apollo is the closest to a road car out of this lot, but it's not really. I might be slightly a bit wrong for the inevitable comments that are going to be arguing over whether it is or not. Regardless, we are here. We are ready to go for the battle against the Porsche. Oh, we did not get a good start off the line. Now, I don't know if we are going to... how we are going to measure up against that Porsche. I think we might be a little bit better in the corners in places. We might be able to carry some more speed. We definitely couldn't get it off the line. It's a terrible start. We're going to have to basically be all-out attack here with the Apollo, which is fine. We can go for that, and we can hope for the very, very best in this one. Doesn't like the bumps, funnily enough. Not really designed for flying through the air, is this car. We're going to have to throw it at the hairpin and kind of hope for the best. It does get turned in really well at this section, but then I can't use the power in the car, which is a little bit of a pain. We're going to try and carry some good speed up this hill, but it's unless Longbow makes a mistake, there's not really much chance, I don't think, for us. I'm not leaving anything on the table with the Apollo. We've just got to go for it. We've got to hope that Longbow runs wide, like Longbow does in the hairpin. He's a little wide, although can cut back to the inside for the exit. The Porsche's just got too good a traction. I can't live with that. That is just so good, getting the power down out of these corners. And as we head around this final turn, it was a little bit of a poor start for me, and that kind of killed it, sadly. That's I couldn't resist. It did, as I slightly kill the Apollo. I just couldn't get it off the line. It just sat and spun, and the Porsche did a much better job. There are places where the Apollo was a little bit better, however, not enough of them. Porsche, that is in to the final. We have the kind of grudge match for our next semi-final. The MC12 versus the F50 GT. All of these are drawn randomly. This is just the draw that came up. So yeah, the Maserati is going to battle it out with the Ferrari once again. It's just started raining, which is not really what anybody needs for this. The cars are going to have even less grip than they would normally. Not even less grip. It's not the biggest difference in Horizon 5, but it will make a little bit of a difference. They're off the line. Very even start between the pair of them. The F50 goes to the outside and will get the jump initially, but it's very wide through this first corner. Maserati takes a look to the inside. They bump, but the MC12 does not quite get the pass. It's still looking, though, as they run up the hill. The F50's on the rocks. Maserati tries to throw it to the inside. Can't quite get there. Is up over the... Actually, that's not a bad line out that far wide. You can avoid the jump. That's actually not a bad way to go if you can get it right. But you run the risk of that sort of stuff. The MC12 has hit the rocks. It's kept going. And now, of course, you can't give up in all of this, because you never know what might happen in this. The MC12 is going to be absolutely flying as we head through these next few corners. I mean, the F50 hit that rock in the first round, so yeah, we saw how close the F50 got as well. The Ferrari is going to be on the attack, but it's all the Maserati was a bit wide up there as well. The MC12 is trying to make up time, because the Ferrari is going to take it a little bit easier. It doesn't want to make any silly mistakes. I mean, it's still easy. And Maserati has chucked it at the hairpin. It is spectacular from that MC12 in the background, but sadly just lost a little bit too much time as we head around the final corner. As long as the F50 doesn't spin, it is going to be the Ferrari that will make it through into the final. Maserati, unlucky, just ran a little bit wide and clipped a rock, and that's all it took. Threw it at the course for the rest of that run, but could not quite catch up. So we have our finalists, F50 GT versus the Porsche 917. We have got our grand finale on the grid. The F50 GT driven by Chris up against Longbow's Porsche 917. This, I mean, should be a very good race. We're expecting the Porsche is going to be fast off the line. We know that car launches like crazy. It's probably the best starting car we've got here. The F50 is very good at the corners, and the F50 has some good top speed as well, which is interesting as they get going here, and it is the Porsche that's going to lead the way. The Ferrari wiggled a little bit, and yeah, the Porsche will take the lead to turn one. Nothing that we're not expecting here. But yeah, the F50 hasn't got crazy amounts of power, but it just seems very fast, like through any of the straight sections. It just seems to be able to make up time on some of the other cars, and indeed, the Ferrari is having a look. It's going to get across. It does. It just slides in front of the 917 to take the lead of the race at the top of the hill, although it's wide through here. You do not want to be wide across this section. It is bumpy. It is difficult. All the Porsches hit the jumps awkward. The 917 is just all out of shape over there. I thought the Ferrari was going to be out of shape. However, it's got away with it. Porsche is wide. It's trying to it's trying to make up any sort of time it can now. The Ferrari was a little bit well, the Ferrari was neat and tidy through there. It was maybe a little bit early on the brakes, but the Ferrari's just making sure that it gets through all these corners, that it doesn't get into trouble on the rocks. The Porsche has pushed it too far. The Porsche desperately trying to catch up, just ran it in too deep through that next corner and got it stuck on the rocks. The Ferrari will round the hairpin down at the bottom, and we'll take it again. It's just as long as no silly mistakes are done in this one. The Ferrari's just got to round the final corner and will slide its way across to the finish line. Someone was trying to prevent the Ferrari victory. Don't think it mattered in this one, and Porsche's unlucky. Oh, we've lost visuals on a Ferrari. It's pinged out. Oh, there it is. It's reappeared. And it's... Nope, the BM... Oh, they've all got off the edge. It's unlucky. The Porsche led early on. It just couldn't live with the Ferrari speed at the top of the hill. And, yeah, a little bit outbraked the hairpin, and it just couldn't recover and couldn't make up the time. Lost in all of that. The F50, wherever it's gone, I'm not sure where it's gone. It's somewhere... Oh, it's down there. There we go. They found the F50. It definitely worked for it. It definitely worked for it in that one. It came through. It came through the Spanner final. It won the Spanner final. It lost out to the MC12 by, you know, the tiniest of margins in its first round, but it fought its way through. The F50 is damn fast. I mean, overall, I mean, the thing to take away from this is the race cars were the way to go. The Apollo is barely a road car. It might be road legal some places. It's barely a road car, and that could kind of compete, but it certainly wasn't really able to fight with the likes of the Porsche, and if it couldn't fight with that, it wouldn't fight with the F50, really. Which is not quite the way I expected it to go, if I'm honest. I thought the race cars were going to have too many problems with the suspension and everything, but not at all in this one. It's good fun, though. I love these sort of challenges, racing cars, where they're not really supposed to be raced. We always get some fun results. The Apollo is good, no doubt about it. But yeah, just couldn't quite compete in this one. However, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.